Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 1631. I'm your host, Arwin. And before we start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. That'll be much appreciated and very needed. I really needed a PayPal donation today because, yeah, I'm kind of out of smokes and out of food, both. So it would be great if I could get a PayPal donation of like at least 30 euros. Hopefully more in the direction of 50. That would be fantastic. Right. Anyway, the weather today is glorious. Beautiful, pristine blue skies. Less moist in the air. Because it's like much deeper blue. And there's been this heavy wind. And it's been actually quite great because like in the morning, I kind of just put my front door here open, and then the wind would blow like from between the window here, that was also of course open, to the door over there, right? And yeah, providing great cooling. So I slept great. I went to bed pretty early and slept great overall. And the weather is just like super summer weather. Plants are doing great. I just saw a bee sit like getting on the oregano flowers. That was really awesome. By the way, the basil flower shoots are all starting to bloom now. It was just one yesterday, but now all of them are starting to bloom. I'll show it up close. But yeah, they're all doing great. Right. Anyway, hello Territ306, first in chat. Good to see you, Jado, Antediluvian Catharsis. Good to see you all. It is Wednesday, the 14th of June, 2023. Temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Right. At the beginning of the night when I went to sleep, it was actually a little cold. That was weird. But I had to put like the blanket back on the sheet because it was too cold to just sleep under the sheets. But yeah, in the morning that changed, of course. Right. Anyway, I'm doing okay. A bit uneasy because I think I just haven't really eaten properly now for too long in a row. So yeah, I don't have money to basically really get proper food or smokes. And even though yesterday the GTI show, and it's like, oh, so promising, and it is promising, there's nothing I can get out of it right now. And so I am kind of desperate, guys. I could really use some support. Because, yeah. I don't want to put you all on the spot, but I mean, I really need support. Or, yeah, I might just not be in a proper condition tomorrow to even do a show. I don't feel super great right now. I'm surviving on, well, the rucola. I do have enough rucola for a couple of days, but I mean, that's not really gonna fill you up. It is providing health benefits, though. It's good to have that at least. And this last Illuminati croissant that I still had. That's weird because I was hungry, but I'm eating it and I'm like Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe all this excitement is just a bit much for me. I basically, dude, I had a blast yesterday, but I was just dreaming all the time of like what I could do with money once I get it. And there's like, I could literally just daydream 2 hours straight thinking about that. There's so freaking much that I actually want to do, guys. But I can't. Not yet. I'm still poor as shit by Dutch standards. Right. A Skeptic 936, good to see you. And Richard G. Wow, that's so many people in chat. So quick, that's awesome. Hope you all doing great, having a great summer too. Oh. Yeah, yesterday, Flat Earth debate had some issues. Like, Nathan had some computer overheating issues or something. Sorry. What the? But he got it fixed, and we did a live show for still an hour and a pretty long after show. And then even after that, Nathan went live again until until QE live with the members only video, just dealing with the Discord. So yeah, Nathan has done actually a lot of streaming yesterday, but in fragments because his computer like crashed twice, I think. It was weird, but still a good show, good conversations, and no friction, which is very pleasant. I don't like the friction. I can't handle it for now. So if I go in there today and it gets all rowdy or like sour in some way, I'm probably gonna leave. I can't handle that right now. Still. Right. So, but we'll see what happens, and any PayPal donations today are certainly going to help a lot. Because I am also stressed out about that. It's just all of it just doesn't really want to fit. Like I got by. Well, anyway, I told you guys. Right, so yeah, I could talk about whatever you like. Also expecting a package from Steamy Traveler. But I don't know if they're actually going to bring it to my door this time. Because it's that same logistics company that last time with the other package just didn't deliver it at all. So I wonder if they're actually going to do it this time. Right, but we'll find out. I have a suspicion they won't do it. But if they just leave it at like the delivery point, that's good enough for me. I'll just go and get it later. I'm really curious what Steamy Traveler actually sent me. But it must be substantial if it like had an extra fee for transport. So I'm really curious. I really am. Like, what did he send me? He doesn't tell me. It could be like another t-shirt, or probably not, because that didn't get a fee. didn't require a fee to collect. So yeah, I'm curious. Right, but yeah, because of that fee, I don't have money left for food and shit. Or smokes. I wouldn't have, even if I didn't collect it, I still wouldn't have enough money for both. So yeah, I am really desperate currently for donations. Sorry to bring it up continually, but I mean, it's like on my mind, or rather on my stomach. But yeah, the GTI situation is looking very promising. And hey LSG, good to see you. Right. Wow, my computer is being very, very noisy. Let's see if I turn this off, if that'll help. Yeah, it did help. Wow. Just that one game running passively still drains the computer is good to know. I turn it off and literally a second later it's now gone down. Bread and circus show in the USA? Well, when isn't it? But can you be more specific about what situation? I haven't really kept track too much. I know they're like going after Trump again, and there's all this stuff. This weird remark like, oh, he, from these weirdo liberal show hosts or whatever. Like, oh, he could be in jail and still become president and pardon himself. Like, what a weird situation. Right? What's that mean, Rich? What? Trump arrested, released immediately. Right. It's all nonsense. They're just desperately pecking at him. But I mean, it is effectively, they are grooming him to become president. By doing this. I mean, to me, for a long time, it felt like Trump being a shill and all and being responsible for Project Warp Speed. I feel that he is like a controlled opposition liberal. Like he's an outcast liberal, but he still is a liberal. But he's cast out by the liberals. But he still actually does them favors. He just never gets any thanks for it. And what they probably want to try to do is like, because they want to entrap him, right? I mean, the liberals hate Trump. They do. Even though he is a liberal and he's actually kind of on their side, which is completely warped and insane. But they still want to trick him, so I got this feeling like they're probably like gonna do the election stuff, and then if he wins or if he's allowed to win, then literally they let the war in Russia go completely out of control, so that Trump must fight that war, even though he doesn't want to. Like, to make it like escalate to the point where Trump couldn't just make peace anymore. That's what they want. They want him to be the baddie. They want him to be at the helm as war is caused and people are killed. And dude, if it ended up like pretty bad war and like, they will literally blame him for all the deaths, even on the Russian side. Suddenly all the Russians will be seen as, oh, but they're humans. It was such a war crime. He is Hitler. He killed them. Like, they'll do that, even though they literally like, oh, kill all the Russians. They must be exterminated. And then like, oh no, Trump is in control. So now it's all your fault, Trump, that they got killed. They'll do it. I swear it. It's not even a prediction. It's just going to happen. That will happen. They will do that. You know they will. Yeah. Right? Because liberals, they just want the war. They just want conquest. They want to blow up countries and then loot their gold and children for sex trafficking. That's what they want. But they don't want to be responsible for it. So they'll throw Trump, or they'll let Trump win, make him do it at the helm while they do all that stuff sneakily in the background. And then they can blame him for everything. That's what they like to do. Thoughts on Putin's World Economic Forum profile? No. I mean, Putin's not on board with those things. He's still, but he is like, you gotta realize that Putin is really also a business president for his country. And he likes to have his toes in like whatever is going on out there. But are you seeing Putin like attacking his farmers? Right? Putting in the bugs? No, he's not doing any of that. This page was removed from the... Oh! Okay, I didn't know that. Typical. I guess they realized that he wasn't gonna play along. Oof. Nah, dude, what you want as president is Shiva. It's gonna make huge amount of dust flow around, probably lead to a bunch of deep state assassinations and shit. They will try to kill him, absolute guarantee. He knows it. They will try to definitely kill him if he actually succeeds. But that guy is gonna like completely revolutionize everything if he gets the chance. And he will absolutely, irrevocably end the deep state if he doesn't get assassinated before that's rounded out. And he will end the wars, and he will reestablish the United States as a proper business empire instead of a war empire. I mean, it would be the best thing that could ever happen to America, probably. I don't necessarily personally like the guy as much, but I have great confidence in his brilliance and in his actual motivation. I mean, he is like mechanically obsessed with improving things. So he doesn't just bluff his way in and then do the opposite. So, but I mean, the chance is very little that he'll even... They probably will just try to digitally remove him from the voting system, like even though he's officially registered, that you just can't vote for him. Like, they'll probably try something like that. But I mean, that would be probably the best option the United States could ever think of at this time. Worst business. Yeah. That's not what I was talking about. Don't be such a smartass, George Sanford. How can things change when the same corporate? Well, that's very simple. Yeah. The nation can literally confiscate it. There you go. Yeah. Hey, they did it in Russia. Remember that? Oh no, the outrage. Yeah. They just took them down. It's like, oh, you're an oligarch. Oh, you're secretly conspiring to destroy the country. Yeah. So that's done now. Yeah? Your assets are now ours. And you go to jail. Yeah, that's what you could do in the United States. That's right. You could actually do that. Do it pretty quick, too. Just like Putin did in Russia. You could just do that. Yeah, you can just do that. Yes. Get it? Or did you forget? Did you forget that was an option? Because nobody ever says that. Yeah, I know. But you can. You can just do that. All you need is somebody that isn't directly in the pocket of the bankers. And then you can do that. Right? So there you go. Putin's term could end is serve the third. Yeah, whatever, Zane Solo. Nobody gives a shit. As far as I'm concerned, Putin should, or well, if the Russians know what's good for them, they'll allow him to be president until his death. And maybe like exchange it with the other guy. Or maybe get somebody else on board for, like, they just need a team. I mean, Putin is a team. He's not just Putin. It's a whole team. He's like the number one guy and the number one target. But they're a team. It's not just him. But he is probably a key factor. Without him, it might not work at all. If he wouldn't be around. Right? But, I mean, they'll find somebody else who will be the newer generation. The point is that Putin should absolutely stay in control. He should. It would be in the West's best interest if he would. Yeah, because if he actually got out, there's a very, very large chance somebody would get in that wouldn't be part of that administration system. That would be much more aggressive. Like, and I mean much more aggressive, right? Because Russia's been super peaceful, almost irrationally reasonable, if that's even a logical sentence, but extremely tolerant and very effective. And so, best thing that ever happened to him, yeah? If somebody else got in, it would change. There would actually you would see Russian aggression if somebody else got in, probably. Okay? So, better pray to God that frickin' Putin stays there. Yeah? He'll be assassinated? No. There's gonna be attempts, but none of them will succeed. He's gonna die of old age. Seen it. Bin Laden died in the hospital. Yeah, I know, George Sanford. This war hasn't been helping his popularity. Yeah, well, that's only because he doesn't just straight out blow them all up. Because he's been kind of trying to keep... He's basically treating the situation as such that Ukraine is very likely to just completely join up with Russia in the end. That's how he's doing it, right? If he just wanted to minimize like Russian soldier casualties, dude, it would just be like rockets, drones, and it would just like giant crater landscape wherever there's like Ukraine. Like he would just blow it up very quickly, right? And that would minimize the casualties, but it would make Russia look really bad. And yeah, the more grimish, the more grim type Russians would absolutely not give a shit. They'd be like, yeah, oh, you all hate us? Well, go fuck yourself. We don't care. Yeah? Don't fuck with us. We don't care what you feel about that. Right? And Putin's been like kind of holding that back and being super reasonable. Like too reasonable. That's the difference. Right? So yeah, he's not popular because the Russians just want at it. Yeah? They really want to make the West pay for this disgusting shit that's been happening. What if the... No. Now, there is no way. Like, Putin's not gonna... It's war, guys! It's war! Hey, guess what happens in a war? What never happens in a war, yeah? Yeah? There's no elections during war! Yeah, you're not gonna have an election run in the middle of a fighting casualty war. So what kind of ridiculous remark is that? Oh, who's gonna be the next? Dude, they're in the middle of a war! They're not gonna re-elect somebody else! In a war! War! Yeah, bombs exploding, missiles launched, tanks rolling. War! You don't change presidents in the middle of a war. Anyway. Right? Unless he literally gets kicked out by the nation. Because he's fucking up so bad. I mean, that's different. How many Ukrainians left? A lot. Although I don't even know, Rich, dude, you have no idea how many freaking casualties. I mean, at the end of this, it's a good likelihood that literally the entire military of Ukraine, all the soldiers, all the one that hasn't like went AWOL, they're all dead. I mean, this is going to end with literally Zelensky, if he survives that long, just putting teenagers, like forcing teenagers to just get guns and helmets and try to attack. I mean, he will do that. He's like killing all of them. So all this idea of, oh, the military of Ukrainian military going out. Like, what Ukrainian military? They're almost all dead. think you have it all backward. Who are you talking to, antediluvian? US and the Ukraine went. Wow. Well, that will be the dumbest and last thing they'll ever do. I mean, the UK would be a complete self-destructive idiot to get involved in that like that. I mean, they're already involved, but if they'd get like ground troops there, dude, Russia can literally blow up England. Russia doesn't even need nukes to fucking blow up England, okay? Oh, they just send one super missile in the ocean and it all floods. Yeah, or they just send a couple and then buy England. And there's nothing fucking England can do to stop that. They're idiots. I mean, the English should literally be storming the palaces and the government buildings at this point. If they really plan to just go into direct war with Russia, that's totally insane. Hey, dickhead, why don't you go fuck off? Person who doesn't announce themselves and immediately starts harassing in my chat. Yeah, go fuck yourself and get the fuck out. Ukraine is... You have no fucking idea what you're talking about, you propagandized idiot. Yeah? Ukraine is getting slaughtered. There's a distinct casualty differential, yeah? It's like 7-1. Yeah, and there's a lot more Russians. So they have no chance. Oh, your sources have been... Yeah, that's cute. It's very cute. Hey, I'm not saying if Russia doesn't have some detriment because of it. I mean, they are losing young people. It has an influence on the economy. It's not without a price. But when it concerns the war, they are absolutely winning. Absolutely winning. I've said it from the start. I've said it. They would win even before this started. They will win. I have literally seen it. I've seen several phases of it, including way after. Yeah? They will win. They will win every part. This might stop, another war start up, they will win that war. Russia is going to win every single war. You understand? But they won't start any though. So, I've seen it. It's one of the things that I've more distinctly tried to pursue knowledge-wise during my Dark World vision. Yeah? So I knew this over 20 years ago. Yeah? Because I saw it over 20 years ago. Yeah? I'll give it props when... Yeah, sure, you give me props when it's official. Or you could just listen to me straight away. I mean, did I not tell you during the whole medical experimentation phase? How did that work out? Was I not, like, absolutely correct about everything? About absolutely everything that I said back then, when it wasn't officially known yet. Yeah, I said it. Said every detail on my shows. And all of it was true. And even beyond to where it's gone now. Because viruses don't exist. And that's not something that's going to be officially admitted. Right? Even though some people are saying it. Even in more sub-mainstream sources. So... Yeah, I called it 100%. You think I'm not calling it here 100%? Yes, I am. I'm calling it 100%. And I was saying it in 2016, even. To people's faces here in the Netherlands. When we are getting all hyped up against Russia. With the stupid plane bullshit that was actually shot down by Ukraine and not Russia, but the Dutch government insisted it was Russia because they're pieces of shit. They should all hang. And they will eventually, or get to jail. I mean, those cartel party people, they're the ones that did that, and they're getting cornered. It's not gonna last forever. So, yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. Russia is going to win this war and any subsequent war. Yeah? And they will even win a nuclear war, if such a thing is even real. If like big missiles go launching that really blow big things up, and they fly everywhere, then they will still win! You get it yet? So all that's happening right now is just how much are you all willing to slaughter and sacrifice and send huge amount of cash and your military equipment over to Ukraine, all to be destroyed. It's literally like throwing it in a volcano. Everything you send there, it's like throwing it in a volcano. It's all going to be destroyed. All of it. All the people, all the equipment, everything you sent there is going to be destroyed, except maybe food and medical shipments. Alright? It's all going to be destroyed. Everything. Nothing will slip through. Nothing. Yeah? Nothing will slip through. Everything will be destroyed. So stop trying to pretend like it's anything else. Some might be sold. Yeah, sure. I mean, a lot of stuff that you send over there will probably be intercepted halfway the transport and just stolen and then sold on the black market by gangs. Yeah. A lot of the weapons we're going to send there will end up just in the criminal circuit everywhere in the world. Because it's a mess. But everything that actually lands in Ukraine, every weapon is all going to be destroyed. Every single part. Every soldier you send there, all of them are going to die. Right. But Russia still have challenges. I mean, they can't just keep warring forever. Eventually, they'll run out of men. Or rather, they won't completely run out of men, but it will like damage the economy so much. The loss of so much youth will actually create a risk for their economy. But I think that they've already been actually planning for this. They've encouraged a lot of young people to get a lot of kids. And that will help. Hello, by the way, Zane Solo. Right. But anyway, what NATO is really more interested in is just, they all just want to make it hard for the Russians, and everything they do now in Ukraine is just to destroy Ukraine. I mean, why did they blow up the dam? And then it was absolutely Zelensky. I mean, he literally even, it was even a word going around that he was planning that. So he did that, no question. I'm absolutely certain. And it's all about just destroying, obstructing, destroying, and they'll destroy their own. They'll try to deploy scorched earth. I mean, I wouldn't see it past Zelensky that if he like really had to flee the country, that he'd like do a last minute firebomb run on his own fucking cities. Under the excuse, you betrayed me all, so now you have to die. I mean, he is that kind of guy. Okay? Because it's not about destroying Russia. They can't destroy Russia, but they can destroy an asset of Russia, which is Ukraine, which is very likely after this going to reunite with Russia. So they're just destroying as much assets they can. It's all about just taking things away from Russia. Just killing their people, taking away their assets, taking away their business. That's what NATO does. It is... yeah, it's beyond criminal. Destruction of economies. Yeah, but it's ridiculous too, because destruction of our economies hasn't destroyed Russia. They did it as a very, very sloppily executed false flag scenario. By literally just doing that shit and then blaming Russia. And then using that tension, that false accusation straw man, eventually as an excuse to start the war. To get involved in the war. That's why they did it. They attacked their own economies just so they'd have a false flag excuse to get engaged in the war. That's what's happened. It's war criminal. It's literal Hitler level war criminal. That's what's happening here. See, these European cartel governments, they're all just like Hitler. It's not that far off, guys. It's really not. Right, anyway, that's going on in the world. But in the meantime, over here, it's great weather. Although, man, it hasn't rained for a long time now. It's a miracle everything is still as green as it is. But maybe that's also because it hasn't been super dry and there's been a lot of moisture in the air. And that does help, even if there isn't any rain. What's that? Yeah, ridiculous. What? What's yeah? No, they all get involved in there. They all look. It's just the new economic conspiracy, and they all want to know about it. That doesn't mean that they're literally gonna apply it, but they want to know about it. They want to be in the loop. Wow. Well, let's not talk about what Klaus Schwab was when he was a young man. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, Putin might have been a cab driver, although I don't think so. Not literally like that. Or maybe when he was really young. I don't know. But, yeah. You don't even want to know what Klaus Schwab's background is. The guy's a literal Nazi. I mean, like literal. Like George Soros? Yeah. Although George Soros was like kind of just betrayer of his own people and he got grafted into it. Klaus Schwab was like born into it and he didn't betray anyone. He was just a Nazi. It's just that. Well, he might have betrayed some people, no doubt, but I mean, what? What the hell does that mean, Dr. Uger? What are you talking about, Anthony? I don't know what you're talking about. Far left advocate who is Hungarian. Are you mean George Soros? He was Hungarian, wasn't he? He's not Waffen SS. He was just a guy that would literally like rat out Jews in their estates in Germany and then basically collect money for that. Not Waffen SS. He wasn't like a death squadron soldier, okay? When we say Nazi, we don't just mean the death squadron soldiers. I mean people who actively did atrocities or business based on atrocities around the Hitler regime. Well, maybe he did. I don't know. I don't think so, though. But he might have been. I don't know. Maybe he just did that as a dress up. Maybe he just thought it was really cool. I mean, it might surprise you that back then there were actually a lot of Jews that really thought Hitler was cool. Okay. Sounds weird, right? You know how many people, like even in his cabinet and everything, were just Jews? And they weren't like removed or something because of that later. No, they were just Jews. So yeah, I mean, it might have been just like, oh yeah, I'm SS youth or whatever. Sure, could be. I don't know. I haven't like kept a careful track of all that. Right. So yeah, sure. Is germ warfare real? No. Chemical warfare is, though. There's plenty of chemicals that could make you sick. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, there could be a package here any moment. I hope. Okay. Right, LSG. Weird. Right. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. It's been very serious subjects today, but it's what it is. Don't necessarily want to talk about that. I mean, it just came up. That's all. Right. What I do, however, require a lot is financial support. I really need it today. Oh, I got it today. Thank you. That's from Dank and from Skeptic. Thank you. Thank you guys. That's awesome. Right, so yeah, I got 30 euros together. That's great. Any more would be even better. Sorry for it's like always more. But yeah, I mean, this definitely helps a lot. Thank you. Thanks, Dank, for the support, and thanks, Skeptic. Right, so yeah, today we're gonna probably review the other part of the video on FED that I brought up yesterday, or that, well, I brought it up like last week. I think, but Nathan chose it yesterday for reviewing. Pretty hilarious video, right? About the whole Big Bang and all that and how it's wrong and but then they explain everything about it and why it has to be like that. Even though they started out the entire thing as like, is it wrong? Yeah. Hitler was secretly sending Jewish... Yeah. Now Hitler was a staunch Israel supporter. Like, he wanted to make that happen. So yeah, Hitler was a Zionist. Oh, well, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit my image of Hitler. Yeah, but he was a Zionist, though. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about the truth? What you gonna do about reality? This doesn't fit? It doesn't fit your convenient black sheep narrative? Really? Yeah, really. Yes, really. Was it very open? Well, no, he wasn't having speeches about it, I think. It was just an ambition of his that he was doing. Maybe he thought it was the best solutions, like, oh, if you just give the Jews a country, then they can fuck off or something, right? You could see it as that, or you could see it as, no, he was actually a Jew and he just was just being very anti-Semitic towards his own people, eventually. Maybe he felt betrayed by the Jews. I mean, that'll do it. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Hitler was just a Jew. I mean, sorry, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, very much so in many different ways and style and everything. I mean, he was not a typical German. He wasn't even a German. He came from Austria. He had black hair. He had ego issues. He had drug problems. I mean, he probably wouldn't put on one of those little circle hats or anything like that, but he was pretty much a Jew. And connected with that. Like, with Jewish businessmen and all that. Hitler was blue-eyed? An Alpine guy? Okay, antediluvian. Was he a Rothschild? No. Was it Hitler? Yeah, he might have been blue-eyed. Right? What, you mean that as if you're blue-eyed you can't be a Jew? Okay. Some would claim so. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe he was. I don't know. Probably not. I don't think so. Because, I don't know, he wasn't hook-nosed enough. It wasn't, like... The point is that, like, the way it's portrayed now in mainline history is like he was like the ultimate allergic to Jews or something. It's absolute horse shit. Jews all over his cabinet, like even throughout the war. It was just bullshit. And those speeches he did against Jews and all that, I'm not even sure that he just meant Jews in general. Maybe he just meant the Rothschilds. Ever considered that? I'm not sure. I do know that it was like even communicated how he felt incredibly betrayed by Jews. I remember something about that. So I think that, yeah, I mean, the situation is just not what they made it into afterward. I mean, Hitler was all really cool and all that in America. Didn't you know that? Hitler was the shit. He was popular. It's like, oh, he's really cool. That's what people thought in America. Right? They were trying to take example of his development because he was very industrious. I mean, he did like get a lot of industrial development going, technological development. Did Hitler really kill himself? No, no. But the woman replacement, the lesbian that eventually did at least the last part of the war for him as a stand-in. Yeah, that one did kill himself, and that's why they found a female skeleton. Is it true that he died of old age in Argentina? Well, maybe. I'd say probably. I think it's more likely than that he killed himself in Germany. So I've seen photographs that were kind of convincing that it could be him. And logical wise, it makes sense. Lesbian Hitler is ridiculous. Yeah, but it's not him though. I mean, Benjamin says that Hitler was literally a lesbian all along. I don't believe that at all. But I do think that he might have had a double that was actually a lesbian with like a stick on mustache. That just really looked alike and really had the same type of voice. I think that that is actually real. That happened in like the last part of the war when it's like, okay, I gotta get out of here and just give her instructions while he's gonna go away and probably take care of like Antarctica or something. Hitler was a puppet. No, he wasn't a puppet. Not like that. He was involved in schemes and all that. But I mean, he didn't do all those things just to fulfill the schemes of those that told him to do that. I mean, that's not what happened at all. What the fuck? And all of the Nazis were gay. Oh, you're all so intellectual about it. I'm glad you guys really take it serious, the subject. Good time to start goofing about like a bunch of idiots. History Channel owned by Disney. an agent than a Moriarty. I think that Hitler was just a guy that overtly took a ticket for the devil. He's like, I want power. It's like, I want all of it, and at the end of the ride, I'll go to hell. I think he genuinely was that. I don't see him as somebody possessed by Satan like that. Or like an agent for somebody else just doing somebody else's bidding. Neither. No. The guy was just ambitious to no end. And he just took a ticket and he went all the way. And that's it. But he wasn't a Moriarty type, because Moriarty was a banker type. Guy that's puppeting. Hitler wasn't like that. He wanted to be in control officially. He wanted to be seen making orders and then seeing the people do it. That's what he wanted. That's not Moriarty. Moriarty is like a puppeteer. Hitler was not a puppeteer like that. He was much more overt. He wanted to be seen. He didn't want to keep it a secret. The devil's puppet. Oh, okay, sure. But what the hell does that even mean? I'm sure he was engaging occultly, as in, well, doing crazy shit to get contact with extraterrestrials or the devil or something. And then, yeah, you're gonna make a deal with it, right? Because he wants power, more power, no matter the cost. So I'm sure that he's done that sort of thing. He was very much getting involved in the occult, the dark side of it. But I mean, to say devil's puppet is like, yes, Satan, I'll do whatever you want. I don't have any will of my own, right? That's a devil's puppet. He was not a devil's puppet. He definitely had his own will. He had his own feelings. He had senses. He wasn't like a blank drone, like some of these fucked up people in governments now. Like, I think the new prime minister of England, that sort of Indian guy, he is like a robot. Like, that's a devil's puppet. That man, nothing will faze him. Like, he doesn't have any feelings. It just doesn't. He's just a puppet. He will just do whatever is necessary, right? That's a devil's puppet. Hitler was no devil's puppet. He had feelings. He had worries. He had restlessness. He had moods. That's not a devil's puppet. Devil's puppet don't have that. Devil's puppets are usually blissfully ignorant of all human worries. They just do what they're told until they're dead by the ghost or the devil or whatever. So, I don't know. It's all kind of loosely interpreted. I mean, there's no clear definition in the dictionary about what a devil's puppet is. So... But in general, people associate that much more with like a mind-controlled zombie type setup for a person. And Hitler was definitely not that. But he was engaging with dark things. He was more like a witch in that sense, right? Conjuring demons, getting involved with demons, taking advice with demons. Not a puppet, but more like a witch or a warlock in that sense. Accepting all demonic offers. Yeah. Oh, he was definitely with the darkness, and so was the SS. Like, it was a death cult. It was an Ahrimanian cult. It was literally like death for death god. Like that. It wasn't just, oh, we gotta be hard. We're hard, right? Because we need to survive. No, it was like, no, we're for death. Like evil. Pure death. They were death worshippers. Anyway, I'm gonna eat the rest of this croissant. Mm. 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 Hey, steamy traveler. What topping you're walking into? I don't know. It started about basically the war in Ukraine, and how I'm quite certain that Russia is winning and will win and will continue to win, including based on Dark World visions, like one of the more clear parts about it. Right? And then we started to talk about Hitler, I guess. Kind of moved into that. And his nature. And the general misconceptions that have been rolled out in history books about it. So that people just think of it like in a very specific, narrow way. When the real situation back then was much more complicated. And he was a Zionist. I mean, it's not the most popular thing that goes around, you know? Hey, Hitler, oh, anti-Semitic. Oh, yeah, did you know Hitler was a Zionist? What you gonna do? Anti-Semitic, yeah? Zionists. You think a Zionist are anti-Semitic? Oh, there might be an argument for that. Okay, but, yeah, Hitler was definitely a Zionist. And that's historical fact. These jackdaws are continually bickering about who gets the drink from the water. I mean, they see it as a precious resource, so I get it. And it is. And I give it to them. But they are bickering about it a lot. Trump is a Zionist. Yeah, he kind of is. I mean, they made a coin. An Israeli coin. With his face on it. I mean, even Hitler didn't get that far. Oh, shut up, you fucking retard. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I'm just telling it how it is. Yeah. What I've seen in my vision. Yeah. Before any of this happened. Yeah. 20 years ago. I know what's gonna happen. I don't know it as in, oh, in a few days, this thing is gonna blow up. It's not like that. But I do know that shit's gonna keep happening and that Russia is going to win. And that the worst that could happen to them is that their economy gets slowed down so they don't grow as much as they originally hoped. And that is pretty much it. They're not going to lose. They're not going to lose sovereignty. They're not going to have their government replaced. They're not going to have all of their military blown up. No, they will just win. And all this bullshit bluffing from Americans. Oh, but our secret technological weapons are so much more advanced. Bullshit! Fucking bullshit! Yeah? Russians have actually done that. Yeah? They got weapons in storage that they've already developed that you've never even seen before. Okay? They got stuff developed like for that could be useful like in 50 years. They're not going to lose. Think Turkey will ever leave NATO? It depends. But Turkey has like its own relationship with Russia. It's been traditionally kind of good. So, but I mean, I don't think that NATO is even going to exist for much longer. I think NATO is going to be disbanded. Because they're going to lose. Like, Russia is going to literally take it further and then go right to the front door. And it's like, yeah. So what now? What box? The package you sent me, Steamy Traveler. What box do you think he's talking about? Ooh, wind is picking up. You hear that? Ooh, wow, what an important moment to bring that up, George Sanford. But of course you would do that, because that's what you do, don't you? Bring up completely unrelated facts that are really, like, that's gonna stab people in the back, right? That's how they feel about it. Bring it up when it's not related to anything we're talking about. Of course you do that, George Sanford. You always do that. Yeah? What does that have to do with anything we were talking about, George Sanford? Well? Related? How? You lay it down. How is that related to what we're talking about? Yeah, related. Yeah. Describe it. Name it. Fuck you, Mateo. Fucking loser. Well, that certainly shut you up, didn't it, George Sanford, huh? Mr. Let's bring in bullshit unrelated things that are like typical high-level agitation creation and put it in there. And then let's say, oh, it is involved. But then you don't explain why. Exactly as I asked you to do. Huh, George Sanford? Very typical of you. Again, you always do that shit, don't you? Like, bring in something agitating is not related. Then, oh yeah, it is related. But you don't explain why. Because you just like to bring up bullshit. You like to agitate people, don't you? George Sanford, you are a fundamentally miserable person. Yeah? I'm probably not the first to tell you. Attacks Russian patrols? Okay. Well, I kind of doubt it, antediluvian catharsis. That's really provably as a tactic and not just accidental or whatever. Because traditionally Turkey and Russia have been kind of allies. But I mean, if the Turkish are actually just starting to like really more overtly attack them, then Turkey's fucking fucked. I mean, if they're gonna actually go straight war with Russia, it's fucking done, man. I mean, Russia could blow that entire fucking country up in a day. Yeah? You think you've seen devastation with some earthquakes? Well, you ain't seen nothing. Turkey would be very wise not to do that. Be very wise to let that go completely. It happened just the other day. Okay. So, an accident? Okay, this conversation is really starting to bore me. I mean, this is fucking pointless. It's fucking pointless talking about any of this. Already said what needs to be said. Russia's gonna win. All who oppose them are going to perish. That's really all you need to know. It's all I want to know. I don't want to know what some troops here and there are doing and how they're cycling. I don't give a shit about that, yeah? I'm not a military historian bard. I don't keep records of whatever the fuck military is doing. I'm just here to bring you the message. The entire media, all of it, is gaslighting the entire world about what's rolling out there in Ukraine, and Ukraine is getting absolutely demolished. The military, that is, not the country itself. They're leaving most of it intact, and that's just a fact, and it's not gonna turn around. And if you up the ante with new weapons, it's still not gonna work. And if you up it more and more and more, eventually it's gonna strike back, and then you all die. As you deserve. Because you're fucking retarded and you're obsessed, completely irrational with no logical end purpose into attacking Russia. So go ahead. Go join Zelensky. You go join his ranks. Get ready to be slaughtered. Burned alive in your tanks. Get ready, because you deserve it. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Antelope. Yeah, I mean, Iran, they're pretty awesome as far as I'm concerned. They hate communism. And yeah, the way they are, religious fundamentalists, I mean, it could definitely be worse. Yeah, some women might get it, right? Especially if they're, oh, I want to women liberate. Yo, go fuck yourself. Why'd you go to the West then, you stupid bitch? Go join the deranged whores then. You fucking bitch. Yeah? Just stupid feminist bullshit. Just be lucky you don't get stoned to death anymore. Even Russian... Oh, right. Yeah, sure they are. Bullshit. Oh yeah, oh that sounds like, looks like a really great, reliable source, man. I mean, the Foreign Policy Center in the UK. Wow, that must be like one of the most reliable news sources you could ever find out there. It's not like everything is 100% lies and flipped inside out just to confuse you so that you don't know what the fuck's going on in the world anymore. Couldn't be that. Yeah, I just did. Total horse shit. Why would they be anti-Zelensky? Because he's a fucking Nazi! Because he literally trains his soldiers to be racist against Russian nationals. Yeah? That's why. Because they literally just blow up people in their houses. Civilians. That's why. NATO backs Zelensky. Yeah, because NATO is fucking corrupt. So corrupt that they'll go as far as to back Nazis just to go at their opponent. So they're literally siding with Nazis. Wow, that's great. Don't you just love NATO? Eager to side with Nazis just to win. That's very promising. Oh yeah, what's next? What isn't next? Everything is already next. They're like Satanist, communist, LGBT bullshitters. NATO is a nightmare. It needs to be dissoluted. Needs to be disbanded. So yeah, I don't need any articles. Pretty good oversight. I know what's propaganda. I know the fucking narratives everywhere. Some groups are throwing in their own interpretation narratives, and it's all fucking bullshit. It's a giant soup of misinformation on all sides. And arguably even the Russians are rolling out some misinformation, but hey, they're in the middle of a fucking war. What do you expect? Yeah. And not a war of aggression, mind you. They are attacked. NATO is violating the treaty. Foreign troops are being sent to their neighboring country with a regime that is like fanatically anti-Russian national and murders those people, okay? So it's all horse shit. Everything you read, all those stupid little articles, stupid opinion pieces, it's all horse shit. Do I think David Weiss is a gatekeeper? A little. Not really, though. It's just a disc earther, and yeah, he wants to sell his app. And that's it. And he's a moderate debater, not good. We ready to give you props once the word? Yeah, that's good. Is there going to be a €100 bonus included with that prop? Because in the meantime, I have to put up with all your bullshit concerning this. Good. You do that. Because I know I'm right. This app tracks flat earthers? Yes, it does. So that you can see how many flat earthers are using it. So it's not a secret. That's just part of the app. And so what? What, you think that's gonna make people use the app? And it's like, oh, let's assassinate all flat earthers. Oh, we got the app. Well, we just go to every person with the app. We just find them with the app. Really? What's the point? Like, what is... It's no issue, dude. Everybody with a fucking mobile and internet on it is tracked. All the time. By much, much more hostile parties. Right? Your metadata is already being reaped, exploited financially and used to design a virtual, spiritual, unspoken cage to lock you into a set of behavior that you can't move out to. Yeah? It's already being done, guys. Who gives a fuck if you're being tracked by an app? Dude, that thing you use for everything, it's already way in you. Way in you, okay? You don't need to worry about some stupid tracking app. Yeah? Worry about the freaking metadata that they leech from you in order to figure out how to fuck you up psychologically. Why don't you worry about that? Yeah? That's already default for like 2 decades now. Fully deployed for a decade. So, oh no, they're tracking me. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is 2023. This isn't like 1995 anymore, yeah? If you'd be worried about it then I'd be like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, dude. Who cares? Everything tracks you. You could turn your phone off and it'll still track you. You worried about some app tracking you? Code to a government agency. Well, why don't you figure out whether that happens or not? But will you think that the government doesn't have your location data when you have a mobile antediluvian catharsis? You really think so? That they don't have your location data? How do you think that app works? The location data is already in the phone standard. You don't need any apps. It already has your location data. It's default. It's machine programmed from the start. You buy it from the store. It has that in it already. Yeah. The app is merely using that little technology. That's all. The thing is already in there. You got a mobile phone, you're tracked. And the government knows your location. Yeah? Worrying about some app is completely idiotic. How do you think the app is getting that information? It's getting it from a device in your mobile that's already in there, default. David badmouthed Eric Dubay. Who cares? Eric Dubay badmouths other people too. Who gives a shit? Open source OS, okay, sure. But hey, your location data machine is still going to be in there. You could jailbreak your phone all you want. It's a mechanical part of your phone. You can't get rid of that. Yeah? You can make the operating system not automatically leech it on, pass it on to a government receiving point, sure. But people could still get it. Yeah, government could still send out a hacker to literally get in your phone so they can get that data anyway. Yeah? You can jailbreak all your phones all you like. They're gonna get it. You can't hide it. The idea that you can have digital privacy in this age is completely folly. You won't. You have a digital device, you have internet, you have no privacy. Absolutely none. Like, you can't get it anymore. Don't you understand? Things get too connected up. Eventually, you can't have privacy anymore. It doesn't work. It cannot be guaranteed. It can be falsely promised, but it can never be guaranteed. It doesn't work anymore. It would have worked in the 90s. It doesn't work anymore now, guys. There is no privacy. Give it up. It's pointless. Like, what the hell are you going to do with it? do secret stuff you don't want anybody to know about? How about you just don't do secret stuff you don't want anybody to know about? Ever thought of that? Instead of hiding it, can't find out. Well, just don't do it then. Yeah? Because you're being watched forever. Yeah? If not by technology, then by God. So why don't you just stop being so ninnying? Yeah, you're pretty, you're watching you. Yeah. Well, then don't do gross and sneaky and illegal stuff. Very simple. Yeah, stoplights, that's right. And dude, even like road lamps, right? Those lamp things that hang over the road, dude, they have tracking devices. Don't you get it? If it's digital, it will have a tracking device. In 10 years, every piece of electronics, every conceivable form of electronics will have a tracking device in it. Default. And you won't be able to even disable it. You won't even find where it is. Okay? It will all have it. There is no anonymity. There is no real privacy. Get over it. It's not coming back. The only way to get it back is to shut down the entire internet worldwide permanently. That's the only way. Yeah? Or you don't participate. Or you just like, hey, fuck electronics. I make everything out of wooden and stone tool. I make my tools myself. I don't use electricity. I don't use anything. Nothing. Yeah? No, that way you can still have your privacy. But it's going to be tough, of course, right? You want any form of electronics? Well, forget about the privacy then. You don't have it. And you're never going to get it back. Okay. Man, time has flown. What the hell am I going to call this show? Anyway. Encryption exists. All things can surely be encrypted. Of course. But, I mean, if you encrypt the message transfer, right? It's like, oh, I want to talk to somebody. What I want to have the entire conversation encrypted, right? Right? Antediluvian catharsis. So you're like, oh, I'm installing this program that's going to encrypt the signal as it goes through the system so that nobody can actually make it out until you unless you have the code key on the other side and it's worked out. Yeah? Well, guess what? Yeah, that conversation is going to be very encrypted. Yeah? But there's still a raw mic feed. Yeah? There's a raw mic feed that then feeds into the encryptor. Yeah. But what if it also fed into another line? Yeah? So that it can, like, unencrypted send through everything you said while you encrypt your line to the other so that the conversation can be listened to. They just listen directly to your microphone. Yeah? It doesn't work, dude. There is no privacy. It doesn't exist. Not anymore. There's no point. Just do things right, be honest, be a good person, act as if you're always being watched, because you potentially are, and you'll have a great life and you won't have to worry about privacy. Yeah, I don't worry about, oh my god, is something gonna see me? No, I actually live like there's a literal camera in my monitor staring at me, even when it's off, even at night. Yeah, that's how I live. Like I'm always being watched, because I probably am. And it's great, it's fine, I don't care. Because I just don't do any really fucked up things that I then have to hide, have to be scared of that somebody might find out. I just don't do that at all, ever, even in private, even when nobody's around. I just don't do fucked up things and gross things. That's all. Yeah, credit cards, RFID chips, indeed, all of that, right. I don't know a title for this thing. I might skip on the title. All this war talk and shit is not pleasant. It was good to talk about it, but I didn't like it, because you were all throwing your propagandized interpretation. Not that you propagandized it, but you were obviously all drinking from propaganda sources. I can literally feel it off you. I can feel it off you, the way you say things and where direction you're taking it. I can feel the propaganda coming through you. It's a very annoying subject, because you can barely find anybody that will talk about these things without rolling out propaganda that they don't even know is propaganda. So it's just an annoying subject. I definitely don't want to talk about it regularly. But I've said what I've said. Russia will win. It's a fact. Their economy might get burdened because of it, but they are absolutely going to win, no matter what fucking NATO or America is going to try to do. They will win. They will end up the winner. Fact. I've seen it 20 years ago when there wasn't even a war. In my visions. Yeah? It stands for something. It's like one of the few freaking things that were just straightforward visible there. Yeah, one of the very few things. Yeah, when I saw 80 years of crap all over the place, and sometimes I wasn't sure even whether it's just an illusion in my mind that I was seeing, or whether it was something that's actually related to reality. Well, these things concerning the war in Russia were like blatantly literal. I know they're going to win. Yeah, and our economies are total shit at this point. So, oh no, the economy in Russia might be burdened. Well, the economies here have literally been shut down, yeah? Fucking food prices and electricity prices have doubled. And it's not gonna half. It's gonna stay like this. It's a fucking disaster, yeah? Economies are completely fucked here in the West. Oh no, the Russians are going to have some economic troubles because of the war. Yeah. Well, we're already fucked. And the war's not even over yet. Oh, Steamy Traveler. I appreciate that. PayPal. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Wow, this is becoming a really awesome show. Although, yeah, I mean, the subjects are just grindy though. I don't like it. I don't like talking about it. Oh man, thank you. Thank you, guys. Steamy Traveler, Dank, Skeptic 936, you're all awesome. This is very helpful. I mean, this is exactly what I needed. I got exactly what I needed now, in total. Now I can get my smokes, get a decent dinner together, and pay for the package. This is freaking awesome. Thank you so much, Steamy Traveler. Right, but I'm definitely going to round out the show now because it's already past 3. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. It was a bit broody, I guess. But still, we talked about interesting things. And it was really a conversation that revealed like how convoluted and complicated and misinformed everything really is about how things work and what's actually happening and what happened in the past. There's so much jumble so that what it actually was is completely reformed into something completely different, and that's how it's told. And that's what we have to deal with. And it's kind of frustrating. It's like they've turned history itself into like a ball model. Right, anyway, I'm definitely rounding out. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogans it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal and the Patreon. They'll be much appreciated. And thank you for all the support today. It's really great. It's a great relief. Right. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1632 on a Thursday, and I'm going to join the Flat Earth debates over Nathan Oakley 9080 channel. It's already started up, so I'm joining a bit late. Hope to see you there in the chat, and until the next video, keep it flat.